Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, and you guys know what goes down here on Tuesday. Wife Chat goes down here on Tuesday. So I just want to tell everybody hello. Hello. I hope that everybody's week has gotten off to a great start. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Do me a huge favor and put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would love to give you a shout out. Again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate you. So make sure that you uh put in the chat. Hi, Mama Pam, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Y'all, that's my mama from Memphis. You guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure that you put it in the chat where you're joining me from. Tell my daddy I say hi, mama. Um, Again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate you guys. Tonight's topic is a little difficult for me. Daddy said, tell you, yeah, I do look just like my mother. I try to have to tell her to stay in heaven every single day. The older I get, the more I do look like Sherrion Jones White. So unfortunately, but she wasn't ugly, so that's a good thing. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure that you're hitting the share button, letting all my one sexy wives know that Wife Chat is going down here tonight. And again, I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. I did. I had the pleasure of pouring into I don't know how many couples this weekend at the Renew Revitalized Marriage Conference. And it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you to all you guys who have reached out to me. Thank you to all you guys who are looking at me that did your homework that I gave you. I truly appreciate you guys. Again, I thank you for the opportunity. Um, again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Now, tonight's chat came to me through my messenger at IG and on Instagram. And when I read the message, I was a little taken aback because usually, I'm open to answering any questions here on Wife Chat. That's the reason why I created it. And usually I try to give you guys my professional opinion. And yeah, I do give you my personal opinion, but this one is a little tough for me because I stand for marriage. I teach on marriage. I understand the covenant that Gail and I cut. But tonight I'm gonna let you guys decide, okay? And this young lady asked my opinion at the end of this, but basically it was my husband just told me that he is gay marriage because he loves me and our children and our family structure. Help. My husband just told me that he is gay, but he wants to stay married because he loves me, our kids, and our family structure. Okay. And so her thing is should she stay in the marriage? Again, I understand the covenant that I cut with Gilbert and everything like that. And I will tell you guys, I will answer her question, should she stay in the marriage? And she wanted my opinion on this. So let me give you some clinical stuff. Let me go professional and then I will go personal. Is that fair? And you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please put in the chat where you're joining me from. So let me just tell you, I had to reach out to a colleague of mine because I don't deal with this in my counseling practice or my coaching practice. I have not dealt with it. But I know it's a real thing. So I reached out to one of my colleagues who Hi, Kelly. How are you? I appreciate you for hopping on. I reached out to one of my colleagues who deals with this, on a regular basis. And hi, Denise. How are you from Illinois? I appreciate you for hopping on. And from what she told me, over 2 million couples in the U.S. has came out to their spouse at one point in time or another, right? Over 2 million couples. Half of them ended their marriages immediately after they were told that. The other half tried to make the marriage work. And this is from a colleague of mine that deals with relationship on a daily basis. Okay. Because again, I'm not abreast in this and I don't ever want to give out information. And I'm a strong believer. I don't ever teach what I have not conquered. Okay. So if you ever come to me with, saying I want counseling, I want coaching, if I have not conquered it in my own life or my own marriage, I don't touch it. Even though I have the education, I just don't, because for me, practical application is better than book application. That's just Gail. You can talk to other people. Anyway, so she said half of the people, when they found this out that their spouse was gay, they ended the marriage immediately, right? The other half tried to hang in there and make the marriage work. And they only lasted, statistically said, from 2 to 2.5 years, right? The other people who stayed in the marriage and endured, when they were polled, they said that they were in the marriage for convenience or because they were waiting for their children to get to a certain age so they could tell them what was going on in marriage. And then that marriage eventually ended. Now, there is some people, don't come for me, that make the marriage last and they learned what, that other person needs, wants, and desires are, and they allow that person to indulge in that behavior, okay? So, or in that lifestyle, okay? So let me just give you some emotional things that you might experience if your spouse tells you that they are gay, okay? The first thing, rejection, low self-esteem, that you have been. What are your family and friends are going to think about this situation? Shock and bitterness. And again, this all came from my colleague, right? Shock and bitterness. Wondering if that person has already cheated on you with the opposite, with the same sex. Will I get a sexual transmitted disease? Confusion, anger, sadness, depression. All of those things are valid feelings if your spouse was to tell you that they are gay, right? Now, this young lady did not give me any information about how long they have been married. She did not give me any information how many children that they had that is involved in this situation. She didn't give me any of that information. I did go back and try to ask her that. However, she did not respond back. Okay. So I don't have that information. But talking to my colleague, this was recommendation just really, really quickly what this young lady should do, because again, I have not dealt with it. So I'm just going from what my colleague who deals with gay marriage in that lane on a daily basis. Okay. Her first thing was that she needs to make the decision. Don't allow all the other stuff that is going on with her emotionally to sway her. She needs to make a decision for herself. And sometimes that takes being alone, walking away from the situation, being alone in order to make that decision. So her suggestion is to allow that person, ask your spouse to give you some space in order to make an informed decision for yourself. Number 2, she needs to accept that it takes 2 people to be engaged in a marriage. And what she meant by that is it takes 2 people that want to work on a marriage to make a marriage last and to make a marriage be fulfilling on both sides. The next thing that she said is that if she decides to stay, She needs to set healthy boundaries for the marriage, what she is willing to allow and what she's not willing to allow, and that their communication game has to be on, not be something that this person is hiding or anything like that. It has to be open communication, and it has to be concrete boundaries, not in conversation. But her suggestions was that this young lady write those boundaries down so they can always go back and refer to those boundaries. And again, for you guys who are just joining me, I appreciate you for joining me. This is about help. My husband just told me that he's gay, but he wants to stay married because he loves me, he loves our children, and he loves our family dynamic. Okay. And so that was some of the things. And then also she said, is make sure that while you're in this wave of emotions, that you make sure that you take care of yourself. She said, do not stop caring for yourself. And she said, in most instances, most women or men, right, tend to try to overdo and overcompensate for the children, or overcompensate and try to change the spouse's mind by becoming hypersexual, or trying to make themselves more attractive and all of those things. She said that does not work. All it does is get you more rejection and make you more upset and feel get more depressed and have lower self-esteem. Okay. The other thing is that if you decide to stay, or if you decide to leave, that you both, the husband and wife, should sit down and have a conversation with the children. Do not do it alone, and don't try to cover it up, and don't try to hide it, unless the children, of course, are, infants, and they wouldn't understand what was going on between mommy and daddy, in the first place. But she was saying to me, which I kind of knew but did not know, that these children are getting education about alternative families in the school systems as early as the first grade. So she said, not in all school systems, but they are being exposed to that. So it wouldn't be such a foreign conversation to the children, but make sure that you create a safe place, and that you let them know that you love them, but this is the decision that mommy and daddy have made. Okay. Also, her biggest thing was for, the lady who reached out to me, the wife who reached out to me, is that you need to seek professional help for your mental status, and for you not to allow everybody else in your ear to sway you to stay or to sway you to go. It needs to be a decision that you make, and everybody's family is different. And like I gave you guys the statistics. Half of the people in their marriage right away. Some people try to make it work, and it usually does not last past 2.5 years. But there is a group of couples that make it work, and they stay married, until death do them part. And so my prayer is for, if the young lady's watching, which I would never say if she is or not, right? That this has helped you. And again, most of the time, like I said, when I come on here, I have experienced it in my own marriage or counseled it or whatever. With this, I have not. And she wanted my personal opinion. So this is the reason why I gave you what the therapist that deals with this on a regular basis said would be best. For me, Gail Crowder, I stand for marriage. I love my husband to death, but Gail Crowder, could not live in a marriage where Gail said that he was gay. That just wouldn't work for me. That's just Gail personally. I'm not trying to sway this young lady left or right. I want her to seek information. I want her to seek God, and I want her to make the decision that's best for her and her family. Okay. Because I don't know her financial status. I don't know any of those things. Okay. And so hopefully this teaching is not going to just help her, but it's going to help some other person that's in this situation, because evidently over 2 million couples are dealing with this situation in the United States. So that's a lot of married people that are dealing with this situation. And my thing is that I wish you nothing but the best. Do not allow anybody to put their personal opinions and what they think on you. That was the reason why I waited to the end. And I wouldn't have put my own personal, what Gail would do. And the only reason why I did that was because she asked me. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions for me? Y'all, I cooked a slamming dinner today, but I didn't get a chance to eat it because I've been doing 1,000 different things. So if you guys don't have any questions for me, I'm gonna be getting off of here. But I do want to tell you about a couple of things I have coming up. On April the 9th, say April the 9th, I have a class for men only, and it's called the Dead Bedroom: Why Your Wife Has Stopped Sleeping with You. So if you're a wife or you're a husband that are watching me and your wife has stopped sleeping with you, or you're a wife that has stopped sleeping with your husband, and you want him to understand from a woman's perspective why that has happened, you need to go sign your husband up for it. It's a 2.5 hour workshop created just for men. Only going to let 10 men sign up because I really want to be able to pour into them. Also, I have all of my workshops for the entire year already up on the website and scheduled. There's some stuff about, talk to me, not at me, some communication things. If you're on the brink of divorce, I got a class called On the Brink. If you are, need to figure out why your libido is low, I'm going to do Let's Talk About Sex. I have a whole lot of workshops up on my website, and I would love to see you guys on there. I keep them very low cost because I want to see you guys win in your marriage. Okay. If you need to talk to me, you know how to get a hold to me. If you have a question that you want me to answer on Wife Chat, you can inbox me, you can email me. If you want to talk to me, there's a link on my website. I give you a free 15-minute consultation. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to answer one thing. You can't think you finna get a counseling session from me for free, but I will answer one question and give you a tool or strategy that I know will work for you. Hi, Gail. Peace, please. Hi, Sabrina. Peace, blessings. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. With that being said, I love you guys to pieces. I will see you guys next week. Make sure that you tune into my YouTube channel. I am every single Thursday. I'm active on all my social media. People are really shocked that I do answer my own messages and stuff like that. I do. If you make a comment on here, if you make a comment on my YouTube channel or on my IG, I am the one who's answering those things. Do I have an amazing team of people that work with me and for me? Absolutely, I do, because I can't do everything that God has called me to do on a daily basis to be doing that. But I do answer my own stuff, and I do answer my own phone, and I do answer my own emails. Okay. So again, I love you guys to pieces. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing night. Should have had this ready, but I didn't, because I'm straight tripping right now.